Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choirboyz Outdoors. This is part one of our tri-stick challenge. Now, let me show you a couple things. I went to the swamp today and I got a few sticks. This isn't going to be one video. This is going to be a multifaceted video. For today's video, we're using the Master Woodsman Blackbird by William Collins. I've got two Victorinox. I believe one's the Master Woods or the Field Master. The red one is the Field Master. The black one is the Outrider. Thank you for joining us. What we're going to do is I'm going to work on a couple tri-stick notches, talk to you about the challenge. Having said that, man, let's go over where I can be a little more comfortable. We'll get with it. All right, guys. So here's the stick that I'm going to start with. Now, I wanted to challenge you, and I've rehashed the story and rehashed the story. Basically, when I went to Blackie Thomas's gathering, shout out to Blackie. If you're not following, you need to. There will be a link to his channel in the description. I was talking to William Collins, who is the maker of this knife. This is the Master Woodsman Blackbird. It was named kind of in honor of Blackie because he loved this design and just would not let it go. I think there were 4 or 5 guys who did the actual testing on these, and Blackie just loved it. So just kind of as a nod to Blackie and their friendship, William named it named it the Blackbird, Master Woodsman. And so William is one of my favorite people to talk knives with. He's got a mind for it. Now, he does have a channel, and again, I'll tag him in the description. And we were just talking about how manufacturing has kind of moved away from the United States. And I'm not talking about doing, arts and crafts at the house and things like that. I'm talking about actual manufacturing, right? And so just in that discussion, we were trying to come up with different things, and we're talking about knife reviewing, and we just kind of settled on the idea that a tri-stick is one of the best ways to kind of start a skill set series, right? And it plays into that manufacturing. My philosophy is people are scared to fail. That's why you don't see a lot of effort. You don't see a lot of trying anymore. We've let emotions and trolls take over, YouTube. And because we don't want to fail, we don't want to be ridiculed, we don't try, So the idea of the tri-stick came up. Now, this is a tri-stick challenge. You can choose whatever knife you want to do it. I'm going to use several. It's going to take me a while to complete a tri-stick. But I'm going to use, I believe this is the Field Master, and my Master Woodsman Blackbird. For this particular one, we'll do a couple of notches. I am appreciative of all of you who's taken the challenge and really taken it seriously. Thank you for that. The other side is this, guys. While I don't do a lot of these challenges and put tags out and things like that, I really think this is not just a good way for community. I really feel like it's a good way for some of the younger viewers to learn a knife skill set. That's just kind of my opinion on it. Now, what I'm going to do is a couple of basic notches, or attempt them, for this video. I would say this too. If you want to try this and you're like, Scab, I don't have a channel, man, that's okay. That's all right. That's not a big deal. You can put them on Facebook. You can put them on Instagram. Hell, you can email them to me. Hey, this is what I did. But I would appreciate if everybody would try it. Now, what I'm doing right here, I believe this is called a sharp edge. I believe that's what it's called. And basically what we're going to do, you see we're coming to a wedge here. I'm going to notch it in the center, and then I'm going to split it. And you can use this particular notch if you need to make cordage or if you need to do things like that. Now, the tri-stick was really made famous by Morris Kaczynski, unless you talk to Donnie, and then Donnie taught Morris how to do it. Actually, there's a lot of guys that do these and did these for years. Donnie is one of them. And shout out to Donnie B all day. I was thinking about this today. I got a package in from him. Ever since I've been on YouTube, Donnie has really been a brother in the blade and really helped support me in this channel. And he's one of those rare guys. He's a guy that when we meet, it's instant friendship, instant brotherhood, instant karma, instant everything. But we also kind of push and challenge each other to get better and to do better and to do this. And I am very, very, very appreciative for Donnie B all day. Joe from JS Bladecraft, man, he's the same way. And you see these guys, and there's a lot of guys who's jumped into this challenge, man. But you see those guys, the guys that you know, your brothers that jump in, and it's a good feeling. Blackie has thrown a lot of support towards the channel, and guys, it just means more, you know. It just does. It's hard to explain, and there's so many of you, and I'm not leaving people out on purpose. I'm just saying it's good that we have that community. It's good that we have that brotherhood. It's good that we have all of that. And when we throw out challenges, these guys jump in, man. It's appreciative. Now, all I'm doing here, I'm not trying to go all the way through. I'm just notching it a little bit. And I watched some of Joe's, and Joe was talking about cheating. Guys, there's no cheating. If you are in a situation where you need to make these notches, man, use what's at your disposal. That's my advice. That's why I'm using a couple of different knives here. And I'll be honest with y'all. I'll be straight up honest with you. I got a couple of sticks at work the other day that if I was relying on them for survival, I'm screwed. So it's not just, and I missed the hole, damn it. Well, that's all right. That's why they call it a tri-stick. We're still going to go with it. But I think, guys, it's not just picking the right knife. It's not just picking the right tool. It's picking the right stick. So it's not just a knowledge of knives here. It's getting out and knowing what stick, what wood to use. These are all skills and things that we've kind of let slide. Now, I know. And everybody say, not me, I get it. I get it. But I'm not talking to guys who have channels. I'm not talking to guys who have skill sets. I'm talking to guys and people who need to learn this stuff. You know, people get so damn offended about shit. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that watch this who don't have this skill set. And there are those out there. So we're going to notch this out a little bit. Now, here's one thing too, guys. I made a tri-stick at Blackie's with Blackie and with William. And when we made this notch, I tried it out and the damn thing worked. Now, I didn't go that far down. If I needed to, I could take some paracord, I could tie it up to hold it together. But basically, you put a briar in there, you put whatever, and you pull it, and it'll strip it. And I believe, I'm not sure the exact notch that's called. I believe it's called a sharp notch, maybe wrong. So we're going to do that. And now we're going to do like a 90-degree latch kind of notch. And guys, if I'm saying it wrong, I'm saying it wrong. One guy got his ass all in a knot because I misused the term. If he knew how little I cared about him or what I thought of him, but I'm not on here to be perfect. There's plenty of things that I screw up on all the time. So what I'm going to do is go about halfway down. Now this would be something you would use if you needed like a tent stake. And guys, I never was a big believer in a Victorinox, Swiss Army knife, Colonial knife, camp knife, whatever, until Chris Hall gifted me this one. Dude, that's why I'm using it. And the other thing I wanted to tell you, one, thank you, Chris. But two, what I wanted to say is this. We always want to talk about that survival situation. What if? Guys, if you're prepared, it'll be a lot easier. That's why I don't just carry one knife. If you do, you do. I don't have anything against that. I don't carry one knife. I carry three. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is you might get in a situation where a knife breaks. I've had that happen. You might get in a situation where there's a couple of you and somebody needs a knife. Had that happen. You might get in a situation where one knife isn't the right tool for the job. Now, we always want to go to the knife in hand's what you got. Right. However, if you plan properly, you're going to have the right knife in hand, right? Or you should. But I carry three. The other reason is this, and I made mention of this. I always carry a knife that I barely use, that's super sharp and super clean. And people had a lot of guesses, a lot of good guesses. But the main reason, guys, is this. If I'm in a situation, hopefully you can see this. This is not easy when you're trying to show it on camera. If I'm in a situation where I get something in me and I got to cut it out, I want a clean, sharp knife. And that could be as simplistic as a splinter, right? You could find yourself in all kinds of situations. believe that's a 90 degree. That was scalping for your TP that got all butt hurt over it. He started off, you know, really loving the channel, and then it's just a bunch of, I don't care. It's one of those things, man, where it's like, you're miserable, so you're gonna make me miserable. I got news for you, Slick. Life's done a good enough job. You ain't shit on that. So here's our 90 degree. This will be more of a latch. Like if we come down here, now you can go deeper. I could go deeper, and I may, let's just make it a little deeper. And if we needed to tie off a tent stake or something to that end, we could do that. You could tie your paracord up in there like that. All right, let's do something simple, and we'll do one more. Let's do like a V. And this is where, this is actually where, guys, the other day, it was kind of eye-opening for me. Now, Captain Electro, shout out to Cap, did a great job with making little precision cuts to him. And I would say this, and I say this to you honestly, if you don't have the skill set, and that's not a knock. See, people get so damn butthurt over this stuff. I'm not saying that as a knock. I'm not comfortable making those movements to myself. So if you're not comfortable, spin the knife. You know? I don't know why people get all, well, I do know why. It's ego, and there's no need. It's not like anybody's trying to insult you. Another guy who did a great job at this was Walter Matthews. Shout out to him, man. Walter's I believe he was in the Chilean Marines. He's a vet. He's a survival guy. He's a designer for Condor. Real brother in the blade, too. Really good guy. Met him at Blade Show last year. Well, that one's not a good one. Let's see if we can clean it up some. Having the right knife for this also makes a major difference. But I'm curious to see what everybody chooses. I know Donnie and Walter both chose, I believe they chose a Condor. Donnie might have used his Pocket Monster. I'll have to go back and rewatch. All right. All right. So our flat edge, sharp edge, whatever we call it for stripping, our 90 degree latch, our V-cut, which we'll have to clean that one up. And the good thing about this, listen, the good thing about this too is this. If you find one that you're not very good at, it's a hell of a way to work on it. So we got these 3 for part 1. I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, if you want to jump in the challenge, please do so. I appreciate you. I'm going to work on one for tomorrow while I'm doing my causes, and then we'll wrap it up. Guys, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. That's all that means. You're welcome here. I back the blue. Now, for a lot of folks, that's a tough one, and I understand it. And I get the whole back the blue till it happens to you. Well, guys, it's happened to me more than it'll happen to most. I promise you that. But I have my reasons, and I've covered them many times. And the truth is, that's just one of my causes. It's cost me friends, believe it or not. And that's okay. It's okay. I have to stand on something. I don't force it down anyone's throat, however, and I'm not mad at you if you don't. It's just one of my beliefs. Finally, if you are an addict, and old Scabber certainly is, never quit quitting. Well, guys, we're going to make a pot hook. That'll be our first one for tomorrow. I'm Scab. You're not. I'm gone, son. Y'all have a good one.